Hello and welcome to another A-Star to G briefing. I worked with some teachers in Manchester this week and we talked about their NQT experiences and their interviews and their attitudes of their colleagues, and very interesting it was too. I was struck by a couple of things. One teacher told me how disappointed with their mentor they'd been, and another told me that they were always getting the cold shoulder from colleagues. The established teachers in the school weren't treating them very well at all. It struck me as sad and weird, but I think I know why. There was also a report on the BBC News website recently about how the teacher training agency in England are focusing their funding away from small cohort courses in universities. That's courses for secondary teacher training like PGCEs with 10 or fewer students on them. And it's a typical move, save some money and improve efficiency, all that. But it's also a nod to the fact that teacher training is changing. The old model of doing a 4-year BEd or a 3-year degree with a PGCE is no longer the only way in. Teacher training is quickly becoming something you do on the job, perhaps using the graduate teacher program or Teach First, or the US equivalent, which is called Teach for America. These programs all require mentoring and the understanding of your colleagues. So just thinking about student financing for a moment, of course, in England you now pay something like £9 a year for your degree, so the chances are you'll already be 27 grand in the red before you start your teacher training. And you'll then get further into the red when you do your PGCE, and it's huge amounts of money. It's a big debt, and perhaps some people will be put off by going further into debt before you've even really tried it out as a teacher. That's why the graduate teacher program and these initiatives, they come into their own. They actually pay you to do them. So it's almost like the end of the PGCE model. You actually get paid to train. So what Teach First and Teach for America do is recruit graduates, usually with a 2-1 or a first, directly into teaching roles in schools, and then train them on the job. There are summer schools and guidance and all sorts of support in place, and it's not really dropping them in at the deep end, but it's still a challenging program. Both Teach First and Teach for America also look towards leadership skills. Have a look at teachingasleadership.org. This is the Teach for America pedagogy, if you like. These 6 areas on the left are their key themes. Set big goals, invest in students and their families. They mean learn how to learn. Plan purposefully, execute effectively, continually increase effectiveness and work relentlessly. They sound a lot like Ofsted criteria, don't they? You should also look at teachforamerica.org, which is fascinating and motivating, I think, for both UK and USA teachers. Teach for America recently showed off some impressive statistics, and I think we'll come back to those in later briefings. We'll also look at the difference between mentoring and coaching, because there is a difference, and it makes both roles clearer in their scope once you get them defined. But the thing that's not being addressed is the difference between old and new teacher training experiences. Why should I help train someone who isn't qualified? I've got a 2-1 and I still have to do my PGCE, so on. Clearly teachers who have the experience and skills should be at the heart of new teacher training, but some are disengaged from it and are reluctant to waste their time helping people shortcut the successful model that was in place for them. Well, mentoring is a crucial and important part of teacher training and needs to be of the highest quality. And if you're not fully on board with it, don't get involved. Volunteer for something else. One-size-fits-all teacher training has probably had its day, because we do need to encourage people with diverse educational experiences, qualifications and backgrounds into teaching. We're still obsessed that you have to have a degree, but that cuts off lots of people, like those in the armed forces, for example, who might make excellent teachers. So we're not fully there yet, but we should understand that some people don't have the time, money, understanding, experience, vision to make career choices straight away or fit into that PGCE model. So it's a good model, but we're now wise enough to see that it shouldn't be the only one. If you're asked to mentor someone, then take that responsibility seriously. Meet with your charge, ask them what they need, what they expect. Remember, you were a trainee once, and support them. Schools need a collectively outstanding set of teachers, not just one or two living in ivory towers. It's important for you to pass on your knowledge. Take the role seriously and do some CPD on how to be a good mentor, or read a book. There's some good stuff out there. It's part of the job, and a successful teacher, I think, will only need to develop that skill in the future. It's going to become more and more important. If you are a trainee teacher or an NQT and you're not getting the support you need from your mentor, then do speak up. Keeping quiet does nobody any good, so speak to your tutors, head or manager, and get a better mentor. Simple as that. If no one can help you, go to the top, and maybe they'll get an external mentor in. There's no reason why you can't have an external mentor, a mentor from a different school. Let us know your experiences anyway at info@istrategy.co.uk, and hopefully we'll see you soon. Cheers.